Here in Chattanooga, Mayor Tim Kelly has proposed a new city budget for the next fiscal year. The City Council, with many new members, is diving into the details, as William Newlin of Chattamatters tells us.
This was presented earlier this month. There's kind of a wrench in the process this year because it's a reappraisal year. This budget was put together without full information. So city officials know that after this property revaluation, that property value is going to go way up, but they're not sure exactly what that value is. They'll get the data from the property assessor probably later this summer. So in the meantime, though, they can still pass a budget. The one that the mayor's office has presented is a full budget. So it would fund city operations for all of next fiscal year. And city council is considering that budget. But what the administration has said is that this budget is lacking something big, and that's pay raises for police officers and firefighters. So there's a pool of increased value from after this reappraisal, and the administration still has to decide how much of that new value they want to tap into in the form of whatever the final property tax rate will be. And so they have a plan. After they know what the value of the property will be, they plan to come back to city council with a budget amendment, and that's where they'll find the funds to give raises to police officers and firefighters. What they've said is they've been facing a severe shortage in police and fire departments. That's for multiple reasons, but one of them is the pay that police and fire are receiving. They've said it's really just not up to par with nearby municipalities and other agencies, and so it's harder to recruit new police and fire, and it's also led to a lot of transfers out of those departments. So the administration has said they're looking for upwards of $20 million to provide those raises, and that would come in the form of a budget amendment down the road, and that's when they would decide that final tax rate to capture however much of the increase in property tax revenue.
Now that would be later this year. Talk about what's ahead next for the City Council in assessing the budget proposed by the Kelly administration for the city of Chattanooga.
They've had two, they call them budget education sessions for city council members so far. Really what's ahead is the first vote on this two-part full budget plus amendment concept is on June 3rd. That's when council will have their first vote on this. And council was in their last education session, they were really split on what they wanted to do. They were concerned about what the impact on taxpayers would be finding funds with a new tax rate to give those raises to police and fire, given how high some property values went up from the reappraisal. So they've been asking the city to find cuts in the budget to meet them somewhere in the middle where taxpayers would cover some of the funds needed for the raises, and then the administration could find some areas in the budget to cut to meet them on that. One other option that city council has is a temporary funding of the government for the next few months while a compromise budget is worked out. I believe that's what the city went with in 2021, the last reappraisal year.
Just keep everything running at its current level.
Yep, so it would be funded at the same level as it has been for the past fiscal year. The mayor's office has really pushed council to go with their proposal to approve this full budget and then consider this amendment down the road.
For people who want to learn more about this and everything at Chattamatters, where can they go online?
Chattamatters.com and on social media at Chattamatters.
All right. William, thanks so much.
Thanks a lot, Ray.